Imagine waking up tomorrow, and for the first time in years, your mind is completely quiet. No endless overthinking, just peace. Think about that. Stoicism teaches that the first duty of every human being is not to control the world. It is to become the guardian of their own mind. In today's lesson, we will explore how to free yourself from negative thoughts, not by pretending they don't exist, but by transforming your relationship with them through timeless Stoic wisdom, modern psychology, and the enduring lessons hidden within everyday life. Because freedom does not begin when life becomes easier. Freedom begins when your mind becomes stronger. The first step to overcoming negative thought is understand that human thoughts are not always real. Most people believe every thought that enters their mind. If they think, "I'm a failure," they immediately assume they are a failure. If they think, "Nobody likes me," they begin acting as if it were true. If they think, "Something terrible is going to happen," their body reacts with fear, even though nothing has actually happened. This is one of the greatest mistakes we can make. The Stoics taught that the mind constantly produces impressions, thoughts, emotions, memories, and judgments. These impressions arrive automatically. They knock on the door of your mind, but they do not have the authority to enter unless you invite them in. One of Epictetus's greatest teachings was that people are disturbed not by events, but by the opinions they form about those events. In other words, your thoughts may describe reality, or they may distort it. Wisdom comes from learning the difference. So, what should you do when a negative thought appears? Don't fight it. Don't panic. Don't try to force it away. Instead, pause and observe it like a scientist studying a cloud drifting across the sky. The moment you stop identifying with every thought that enters your mind is the moment you begin reclaiming your inner freedom. 2. Replace mental noise with meaningful action. A mind without purpose becomes a playground for negativity. Notice what happens during long periods of idleness. The mind wanders. Old regrets return, imaginary arguments begin, self-doubt grows louder. The Stoics valued action over endless thinking. Marcus Aurelius never solved problems by lying in bed worrying. He stood up. He fulfilled his duties. He served others. Action silences many fears that thinking only amplifies. Imagine standing before a mountain. Looking at it all day changes nothing. Taking one step, then another, eventually brings you closer to the summit. Confidence is rarely created by thinking. It is built through action. Do something useful today. Clean your room. Exercise. Read. Learn. Help someone. Write. Create. Every meaningful action weakens negativity. 3. Stop arguing with what you cannot control. One of Stoicism's greatest lessons is astonishingly simple. Control what you can. Accept what you cannot. Most negative thoughts grow from resistance. You resist aging. You resist criticism. You resist uncertainty. You resist the past. But fighting reality never changes reality. Imagine trying to stop ocean waves with your hands. You would exhaust yourself, yet the sea would continue. Life behaves the same way. The wise sailor does not command the wind. He adjusts the sails. Strength comes from adaptation, not resistance. Every moment spent wishing the past were different is a moment stolen from building your future. Freedom begins the day you stop negotiating with reality. 4. Protect your environment. A healthy tree cannot grow in poisoned soil. Likewise, a peaceful mind cannot thrive in a toxic environment. Look carefully at what surrounds you. Who do you spend time with? What do you watch? What conversations dominate your days? What music shapes your emotions? Your environment quietly programs your thinking. If you constantly consume outrage, your mind becomes anxious. If you constantly compare yourself online, contentment disappears. If you surround yourself with bitterness, hope slowly fades. Choose environments that nourish courage, wisdom, and gratitude. Even a small garden grows beautifully when planted in healthy soil. So does the human mind. Step 5. Remember that everything passes. No storm lasts forever. No winter remains forever. No night defeats the sunrise. Life moves in seasons. Pain changes. Fear changes. People change. Circumstances change. Even the thoughts keeping you awake tonight will someday become distant memories. If today's suffering will not last forever, why surrender your entire life to it? Imagine standing beneath dark clouds. You may believe the sun has disappeared. It hasn't. It is simply hidden for a while. Hope works the same way. So the next time negativity whispers that you are weak, broken, or destined to fail, pause for a moment. Take a slow breath, stand tall, and remind yourself, I am not my thoughts. I am the one who chooses which thoughts deserve my attention. The mind that learns this truth cannot be imprisoned for long, because true freedom has never been the absence of darkness. It has always been the courage to keep walking toward the light.